All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Man, the chat is popping. April Palmer is watching from Stefanie's side. What's going on, April? Who else we got here? Kevin Logan Jr. is here. Travis Mason is here. Mawson, sorry, man. Luke Filmer, Brian Berman, Randy House, Enrique Cobb, April Palmer again. What's up, Kenny D? Casey Martin. Man, y'all are here strong already. I love it. Thank y'all for being here. Sandra Wilson, hey, how are you doing? Uh, all the people are here. I'm loving it. Inger, y'all excuse me while I squirrel out for a minute on all these comments. So thank y'all for being here. This is So I Did a Thing, where we have cool conversations with cool people who are doing cool things. What's up, Stephen Rogers? Captain America is here in the flesh, if y'all didn't know. Chastity Alexander. Hey, Lauren. Haven't seen you. I hadn't seen you in the feed in a while. Have you been posting? I'm sure you have. I just missed it. Hey, Melissa. All right. I got to stop or I'm never going to make it through the comments. Thank y'all for being here, though, and thank y'all for commenting. I appreciate it. What is going on in my world? So we only have a few more episodes of So I Did a Thing. I'm going to switch gears in April, and I'm going to bring Ending the Stigma back. Some of y'all may remember when I was doing that with Nathan Winsenreed last year and the year before, come to think of it, where we talk about what it's like being a felon, getting out, the struggles that we face, getting a job and all that. And we just have guests on that have been through it and have come out the other side, and maybe they're smelling like a rose now, and maybe they're not just yet. Nathan's not going to be with me on this one. He's kind of ghosted LinkedIn all the way around. I still talk to him sometimes, but well, maybe that's why, Lauren. Only 2 to 4 times a day. So yeah, I'll be bringing that back in April. I've got some awesome guests lined up. Jennifer Tracy is one of them. She's going to be the first guest. Sherry Garcia has said she will do it. I haven't nailed her down on a date yet. If y'all don't know Sherry, she is the founder of Cornbread Hustle in Dallas, a second chance staffing agency. That she's been like my white elephant or whatever, like the person I've wanted to interview since I first started live streaming. So it is awesome she agreed to do it. I cannot wait to have her on. What else? Merch. If you want some Be Weird merch, some Hit Productions merch, some you can't see it. I'm single, say hi. Merch. You can get that on my website, hitproductions.live. You can also subscribe to my email list if you want to. I'm not super consistent with it. I need to get better at it. But yeah, you can also get some merch while you're there. So check it out. All right. Now that we got all the blubbering stuff out of the way that I always trip over, my guest tonight, I'm super excited about her. You see her all over LinkedIn. She hadn't been here very long or really active very long, and it just has been absolutely killing it. Always smiling. She has a huge smile on her face all the time. She has a dog, which is on an automatic, brings her way up in my book. Heidi Pearl. I love that the dog has a middle name. All of my dogs but one have a middle name too, so I love it. I'm going to bring Stefanie Couch out. Hey, Stefanie.
Hey, Heidi Pearl's in the house.
Heidi, there she. Look at her sitting there like she just knows what's up. Look at she's sitting in a chair like a big girl. I love it.
Yeah, she owns this house. She knows. All right, she goes. Made her appearance. She's out.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Rachel Fox. I see you. That is awesome. My dogs wouldn't sit there and be still for anything. They are so terrible. They don't have manners at all.
Well, she gets paid very, very well to do that.
Right. I'm sure she does. I love it. So how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. So just tell us a little bit about Stefanie. I mean, we see you all the time. Are you wearing pearls today?
Not today. I didn't wear.
Oh my gosh.
I usually am. This is like the first time ever.
I mean, it is 8:00 at night there, so
true. That is true.
If you've gotten comfortable,
I'm doing really good to be awake right now. That's for sure. I'm a little bit of a grandma when it comes to that. Most days, anyway.
Yeah, so we were talking backstage. We had never talked before today, outside of a few DMs and in the comments.
Yes.
I thought you had been doing this for a while, but you were like 100% all in just a few months.
Yeah, like November, December, I started posting pretty frequently, and just have met a lot of cool people and gotten so much support. It's been really fun. And I feel like I should have been doing it a lot longer. And obviously, like 2020, I wish I had have, but I'm here now and it's been really awesome. So I'm appreciative of all the support that I've gotten. It's been really fun to be a part of the LinkedIn community. I've met some amazing people, like met April Palmer in person.
Yes.
Yeah,
did you really?
Yeah, it was love at first sight. I mean, we loved each other instantly.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't even know who each other was. I mean, it was a kind of one of those cool, like, it was supposed to happen moments. My friend Lisa Williams, who's also on LinkedIn, if you don't follow her, she's awesome. She lives in Dallas, so she's a fellow Texan. And her and I had been wanting to meet in person, so I met her for brunch, and then she invited Melanie Borden, and then Melanie invited Taylor, and then invited April, and then here we are having brunch like a bunch of crazy ladies on LinkedIn, and it was just really great. It was a great day.
You met Melanie Borden too?
Yep. I did. I got four or five ladies in one day. It was amazing. Lots of hugs.
Amazing.
We took over the brunch spot. We were doing like a photo shoot, and we found some random person that then we ended up being friends with at the end. It was a whole thing, just like a Southern girl should, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, one thing I like about Melanie is what little bit of interaction I've had with her. Like we've exchanged, DMs here and there, and she's just really down to earth. Like for somebody that is straight up killing it on LinkedIn and is, pretty close to influencer status. Like she just seems really, really down to earth, really real.
Yes.
Every time we've had any kind of exchange in the DMs, she's always joking and laughing and cutting up and all that. So
she's awesome. I mean, that's the coolest thing about everyone I've met or even talked to. I like to meet people in person. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
It's just a whole different element, right? But everyone I've gotten a chance to really talk to, even on LinkedIn lives or just comments, whatever, everybody's so down to earth and just really loves helping each other, which is really fun because you don't have this, like, I'm better than you, or I've been doing this longer than you, or most of it's like, I wish I knew this earlier, so I'm going to tell you now so you don't waste a year doing this dumb thing. You know, whatever. Don't put 85 hashtags in your post. Like, nobody will ever see. Like, that works on Instagram, but not here.
Yeah, you totally mess the algorithm up. Like, it doesn't know what to do. It sees that and is like, ah!
Yeah, it's really cool, though. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I haven't met that many people in person from LinkedIn. I've met a grand total of 2. But that's going to change in like 2.5 weeks when we do that. We're having that LinkedIn meetup in Memphis.
Yeah.
So let me announce that real quick. In case y'all have missed it, anybody watching has missed it, there is a LinkedIn local meetup going on Saturday, March 25th in Memphis at the Peabody Hotel. Amy Leanne Wills and Cat Friends have put it together. They've not reserved, but got us a room block. They've reserved the corner bar there. I've never been. I've just listened to what Amy's told me. Apparently it's in a really cool place where it's like right on Bell Street where, you can walk up and down and go do all the things or whatever. So there's going to be a ton of people there. It's going to be fun. So
that's where they have the ducks in the hotel that like walk around.
The ducks. Yes. I had to YouTube that because Amy was telling me about it. That is the coolest thing.
Yeah, it is. Memphis is a cool town. I've spent a lot of time there with my job before. So you have to go to Gibson's Donuts. That's the like famous place for donuts. They are really good. And then I won't pick a favorite barbecue place because then I'll get in trouble. But a lot of good barbecue, a lot of good music there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And a really cool Bass Pro Shop. Their Bass Pro Shop is like the pyramid.
I know. I want to go. So, my day job, I still work for an electronics recycling company, and I schedule the trucks to go out, and we don't get up to Memphis very often, every once in a while. But when we do, like, the drivers are fighting over that trip because they want to go to that Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I spent some time there. They have a restaurant upstairs on like the very top floor. It's really cool.
Yeah, they had thought about getting that venue for the meetup, but I don't know why they switched it. But yeah, that was definitely on the table.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about Stefanie. Like, how did you get into coaching? Like, you've always been in construction, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like working for doors and sales and marketing and all that. So, like, how did you move from that into coaching?
Well, I grew up in the lumber business, literally was born into it. And so I worked in my dad's small business. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit and loved business my whole life. And so I did that for a while after college with my dad. And then I went for 10 years and worked at a very large Fortune 500 company. And the last 3 or 4 years of that, I worked in kind of a startup situation for them. So I moved to Texas. That's where I got acquainted with the great state of Texas. And I lived in Dallas for 2 years. Yes. And I loved it. I love Texas, and Dallas was a really fun place to live. I have a lot of great friends there. And so I was growing and building teams of people as I would go to these different locations. And so that included a lot of coaching, a lot of hiring, a lot of, that type of thing. And that was really something that I fell in love with. And then I started doing a lot of speaking about women's leadership and how to be, use your voice and be confident and doing all these things. And I just loved it. And I felt most passionate, most alive when I was doing that. And so there came a time like people started asking me, what do you want to do? And I found myself saying really 2 things. I want to build businesses and I want to help other women. And so that was like my 2 things that I was just wildly passionate about. So I just decided to do it on my own. I decided to build my own business and help other women build theirs. And so that's turned into something, it's really interesting how it's kind of still evolving. And I also still help other businesses in the consulting kind of realm in the lumber and construction business. So I'm not too far from home on part of it. I have 2 different companies, and I'm doing some consulting there. I don't know if I'll ever be fully out of the construction business. Like, I could see myself getting my GC's license and building stuff myself at some point.
Yeah.
I would love to have an all female, all women construction company. Like, I think I would be so badass. So yeah, but we'll see. But that's where I'm at today. And so I got certified as a Gallup strengths development coach and have been doing that through Clifton Strengths, and really love that because it helps people spend less time worrying about what they're not good at and more time worrying about the things they're naturally good at that they can just do without even thinking. And I believe you're exponentially more inclined to do better with those things than to try to focus on what your weaknesses are and work on those all the time. So if you're, right-handed and you pick up a pen, you're going to be able to write a lot easier with your right hand than if you try to do it with your left. And it's kind of the same thing with your strengths versus your weaknesses. So I've become very passionate about that, and I get to speak about it a lot of different places. And so I'm always open to new opportunities, and who knows where the wind will blow me.
So that's interesting. And I don't know that I've ever even thought about it because, we always, like everybody has weaknesses, but, you always think about trying to grow in the areas that you're not very strong in.
Yeah.
So picking the things that you're strong in and working to develop them makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it really is. If you think about your dominant hand, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you think about how hard it is to write with your non-dominant hand and how uncomfortable it feels. Well, if you did that 1,000 times a day, you would eventually get better at it with your non-dominant hand. But I don't believe you'll ever be as good at it as with your dominant hand.
Right.
Don't. And so as you start to think about things, how hard it is and how easily you burn out when you're doing things that are not in your zone of strengths, that are not naturally inclined for you to be good at, it just burns you out so much. I mean, it just does. And so there are things that when you can feel when you hit your stride that you just love doing. And then when you see that test result on the Gallup strengths, it's almost like a psychic reading. and you can say like, hey, you probably do this. You maybe are inclined to do this. You like to make to-do lists and you like to check them off. Are you, because you have Achiever in your top 5. Oh yeah, that's me, you know?
Yeah.
Or you love to see the data, or, you know, maybe you like to collect things and you want to know all the information. You don't like to make a decision because you have input, or well, all these different ones. And it's very, very close to right. I've never seen it be wrong. It's really interesting.
It is interesting. And it makes, like I said, it makes a lot of sense because like me, I'm not good at graphic design. If it wasn't for Canva templates for my promo thumbnails that I use on like for the live streams, I'd be lost. Like I did my intro and I do my outros. I do all that on a program called Wave.video, but graphic design still isn't my strength. So it takes me longer than what it should. And like, I've got a friend who is really good at, like, she's real creative and her mind works crazy. And we share that Wave.video account, and she'll go in and whip out an intro video for something in like 30 minutes. And it takes me an hour and a half, you know, like it's just, but I have to do it because it's my show and, you know, I don't want to pay anybody to do it. I'm cheap. So I do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But that's a great example. I mean, you know, and I'm musical, and so I always liken it to music. If someone is naturally musical, they will always be able to be more musical quicker and better and easier than someone who's not. It just is true. Like you see people, and even with athleticism, like you can train and you can get really good. And if you work really hard, you may outwork someone with natural talent. But if someone with natural talent also works hard, like good luck. It's gonna, I mean, it's Tom Brady, right? I mean, like, look at this cat, you know, how are you gonna compete with that? So anyways. For
sure. It's funny.
We should have ran your strengths. I'm so mad now that I didn't.
I know, right?
That was a big miss. Oh, I didn't wear the pearls, and I didn't have you take the test. Like I'm over 2 tonight.
It's all right. No, you're 1 for 2 because Heidi Pearl
showed up. That's true.
Yes, and she was sitting there like a good girl whenever.
Oh my gosh, she's so good.
I'm musical too. I don't play by ear. I can't play by ear. I'm not great at it. You know, I know the basic stuff on, you know, chord progressions and all that. So I can pick it up really quick.
Sure.
But I've got a buddy who can almost play exclusively by ear. And like, I can not know a song, and as long as I have the music or can watch somebody playing the guitar chords, I'll fall right in there. But then I've got a buddy who doesn't even have to look at anybody. He can just hear it and he just kills it.
Yeah.
You know, that just goes the difference in the true natural talent versus a learned talent.
Yeah, I used to get in trouble when I took piano lessons for not reading the music, because I would hear it one time and then play it, and my teacher would get so pissed off. Like, and then I would get mad because we'd get these little postcards from the teacher, and my sister, who wasn't really very musical, would always get a happy gram, and I never got one because she's like, "Would not read the music." Like, look, lady, did I play the song or did I not play the song? Like,
right.
Give me the points here.
Yeah, that's like the whole drumline story right there. Whenever he, you know, when he couldn't read the music, but he got in there and played.
I've been getting in trouble since day one, so I never did follow the rules. I guess some things never change, you know.
That's why you and April get along so well.
That's exactly why we get along.
She's gonna be in Memphis, and I'm gonna
had socks that said the F word on them. So I had
nice.
I was sent her a picture after I found out, and it was like, I'm a fucking firecracker is what my socks said. I have to have those. I've never seen them. And I was like, I knew we were meant for each other.
Yeah. The name of, so she's one of my clients.
Uh-huh.
The show she had before, she's doing the talent pool right now. She was doing one, and it was called Fuck It Bucket. Like, that's the name of the show. Yeah.
It's a good one. She told me that. Like, 5 minutes that we met, she said the F word like 10 times, and I was like, I love you.
Yeah, like she sprinkles it like confetti. Like, it's just there's no filter, it doesn't matter who she's talking to. Like, the F-bomb is going to work its way into the conversation multiple times.
I love people who can be themselves unapologetically. That's my favorite type of person in the world.
Yeah, for real.
And she is definitely that, and I love that about her.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So do you only coach women, or do you work with men too?
No, so I actually coach men and women. I do a lot of coaching with corporate, different workplaces. I actually just got back last week from the United Brotherhood of Carpenters in Las Vegas, and it's the largest carpenters union in the world. And they have over 500,000 members. And so I went and did a training session there, and hopefully I'm going to be going back and doing more of those. And that is men and women, but it's way more men than women. There's only like 10% women in the whole industry of construction, and in the trades, which is what that is, there's like 1 to 2%. So out of every 100 men, there's maybe 1 to 2 women. So we have a lot of work to do to still, grow this. But I definitely am I just like to help women because I get it. I wish I had a woman that could help me when I was 20 years old. And a lot of times that's the lens I look for. But I help a lot of different people, and I love men. I'm married to a man, so I have no problem helping men and women. It's just that's really where my most passion is. And, a lot of my clients have called me our men. It's really interesting, So I don't want to isolate anyone for sure.
Yeah, no, I like it though. And I like that you target women and you're passionate about that, especially coming out of an industry that's male dominated. Yeah. Which is a lot of industries, but I mean, the construction industry really is. But coming out of that and then just wanting to see women in that industry and see them succeed and see them do well. Yeah. I love it. Good stuff.
Yeah. It was a tough battle being in that industry, even though I was born into it. I never really knew when I was growing up that it was like a big deal. Like I didn't realize that girls can't do things in some people's eyes. Like when I was a little girl, I never even knew that. My parents just never clued me in on that. I'm thankful for that.
Right. No, yeah.
And then like I got to high school and still didn't really, think that. And then I got to the corporate world at 25. And I was like, oh, shit, there's stuff they don't think I can do. I'm wearing, pink and I'm a girl and like have long blonde hair. And I was like, this is not going to work for me. That was my immediate thought was like, what's wrong with these people? Because it's definitely not something wrong with me,
Right,
and, that set myself on like a 10-year journey of trying to basically like prove that I could do whatever I wanted and that all these other badass women I worked with could do whatever they wanted. And could do it probably better than a lot of the men that were there because they were working so hard to prove that we could do it. I always felt like I needed to be at least 10 to 20% better than the men around me because I needed to be able to, there should never be any doubt. There should never be a moment where you're like, did she do a good job? No, I wanted to be the best at everything I ever did. And that led to its own set of problems of perfectionism and all these other things. We have lots of battles we fight in life, but that was the way I always saw it was like I needed to be better to be able to
because I bet that had the tendency to carry over into like the personal life too.
Everything. I mean, I race people down the hallway, like I'd be on the recumbent bike at the gym and I'm like, oh, they've been 4.2. I'm going to go faster to go 4.5, And there was a moment where I actually had to stop myself. I actually read a book. It's called How Women Rise. And it talked about perfectionism and how it can actually be a curse, especially for women. Yeah. And I stopped myself and I was like, sometimes good is good enough. Sometimes like 90 is okay. 90 is still really good. It's an A. You don't have to get 100 because perfectionism is not even a real thing. It's never going to be perfect. And when I released myself, I felt like I kind of gave myself some grace. And then I felt like a lot of other women needed to hear about that grace too. So that was part of my message. So yeah.
Yeah, nothing hotter than a woman with a set of tools, right?
That's right. I actually beat my husband in a nail driving contest when we were young at church. I don't remember this, but he does. It was like some sort of fall festival, and they brought out some nails and some hammers, and I bested him, and he is still not over it, and it's been like 30 years.
That's probably what made him fall in love with you.
I don't know. He did not like me when we were little. He was not about it.
Really?
Yeah, I liked him. He was 12. We went to church together, and he was wearing this purple windsuit, and man, like he was crushing it. And we were at a church retreat, and I was like, "Hey, let's kiss." And he was like, "Get away from me." That's exactly what he said to me. I was like, I knew what I wanted. Like I was honing in on the prize, and he was like, "No." So about 12 years, that was 12. And about maybe like 7 years later, he had a real different view on it then. So and the roles were real reversed. And I was like, get away from me.
Hey, let's kiss. And you were like,
yeah.
Remember that one time when we were 12?
Yeah. Like, you're going to pay the price. I've been waiting 6 years for this moment.
Right. Buy me dinner first. Like, do something.
Yes, that's right. Oh.
That's awesome. So y'all have known each other your whole life then.
A long time, yeah. But seriously, like, we went years with, I mean, our whole high school, and we went to a really small school in a really small area. Never saw him. Like, I don't remember ever even seeing him in the lunchroom. And then at graduation, he was walking right behind me. And I turned around. I was like, you rejected me like when we were 12 years old. How are you? And he was like, hey, how are you? And that was it. And then we saw each other at a friend's birthday party the next week. I was like, this is kind of weird. And I had just broken up with a boyfriend. I had gone to college early, and I was like not about a relationship, and neither was he. And then like 3 months later, we were going strong, and we dated for 3 years and then got married. We got married very young. We've been married for 16 years almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we've lived like 18 lives already. So
right.
Lots of moves. We have a real affection for moving.
Yeah. And you know what? It would be cool. Like, I don't know. I'd say it would be cool. I hate moving. Like, I hate it with a passion. We moved a lot when I was a kid in the same town. We just kept moving houses.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert Berry. Good to see you, man. Thanks for
dropping
Rob,
in. Hey, man.
Yeah, Steph is the best. You're absolutely right. She is the
Rob's
best.
got that smooth butter radio voice. I love to talk to Rob.
You know, I've heard him on live streams before.
He's awesome.
And it wasn't until I took Sree's video course on like how to do CapCut.
Yeah.
And he was there too, that I really got to have a conversation with him. And you're right, that sucker does have that smooth as butter radio voice.
Yeah, I tell him all the time, you should be doing voiceover work.
Yeah, no kidding. He had a funny story about he was trying to get an AI generated voiceover thing, and like he had to record like 137 hours, it seemed like, of his. It wasn't that much, but a lot of
persistence wins.
Yeah, exactly. For the AI voice to get it right, and it still messed it up. So it was funny. Anyway, so what else?
I can't see the comments, I don't think.
Really?
No, it's kind of weird. It says on here, messages from audience will be displayed here, but I don't see it. Who else is on that I would know?
You should be able to see them all.
I can't.
That's so weird.
Yeah, let me see if I have something in my settings. I don't know. No, you'll have to read them to me.
Yeah. Let's see. That is so weird. Restream's been tripping lately, man. It's been doing some weird stuff.
I saw April was on one the other day, and she couldn't see it either.
Neither could Kaylee Filio. She was on the same day. Very weird. Randy House is here. Kenny D is here. Jennifer Smith. That's so weird. That's so frustrating too.
Yeah.
When you can't see the comments.
Hey,
Brian
everyone.
Berman's on your side.
Hey, Brian.
He's watching from your side.
Guy.
Yeah, he is. So what do you do when you're not coaching? Like, what's fun for you?
Well, I like to sing. So I'm in a choir at my college. It's a professional choir. So I do that. And then I like to go to the beach. And Ben and I like to go anywhere with Heidi Pearl. So she kind of goes everywhere with us. We're those weird dual income, no kids people that take your dog everywhere and like buy your dog rest at the restaurant like she's a human.
Yeah. No wonder she sits like that when you tell her to sit.
It's like we go to restaurants because they have a dog menu. We're those people. So I like to hang out with my family. So I have two sisters. One of them's in the Navy. She lives in Virginia. The other one's a special ed teacher. She lives in Georgia. So we hang out a lot when I'm especially in Georgia. Go home a lot. Hi, Lydia. So that's what we like to do. I mean, I travel a lot for work, doing speaking and different things like that. And when I'm home, we try to just stay stay in the area and just chill because airport travels, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I love that you get to travel, like in that construction companies and unions like that are recognizing the need for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And are bringing you in to talk about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I get a lot of great opportunities, and I feel very blessed to have been able to do what I'm doing. And there's just so many different places that I get to go and see a lot of different businesses and how people run their different types of businesses. That's really fun.
Yeah.
And then hopefully helping them grow and scale them too.
Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about the imposter syndrome and the Gallup strength test, or the Gallup strength.
Yep.
Whatever that thing, and the Cliff strength or whatever, all that stuff. You also do personal branding for people.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I believe that everyone should have a personal brand and should be able to build their brand out loud. They work for a company or don't work for a company, that maybe they have their own company. Either way, that doesn't matter. I spent a lot of time working for a big corporation, and I have always sort of had a LinkedIn. Like, everybody has a LinkedIn. A lot of people are LinkedIn like creepers, where they just look at things and like see all this stuff and maybe like something, but I never really thought about posting content until a few years ago. And then I started posting content that was around the brand I was building for my company that I was working for at the time. And I knew I could build a brand because I'd built their brand for years, right? And so then when I finally decided to go out on my own and leave the corporate world, I found out pretty quickly how powerful the personal branding story is. And letting people know who you are and what you stand for and what you think about things, and knowing that everyone's story is important enough to share. Like, you don't have to have, I feel like a lot of people think they have to get to a certain apex or a certain place in their life or their career to be able to tell their story. Like, oh, I can't write a book, or, oh, I can't post this thing because I haven't done this. I'll do it once I get to this level. Right. That's crap. People want to see you as you're doing it. Like, they want to see you struggle. They want to know how hard it is. Like, starting a business is hard, people. Like, it's not all sunshine. I was like, try to get something to work on your computer, and you're like, I'm just going to set up this little thing real fast. And like 7 hours later, you know, you're trying to get this thing to work, and you're like, why cannot I not get these 2 emails to talk to each other, and my calendar won't work? And so people want to know the struggle. And I think personal branding is the same way, right? You got to be truthful. You got to be real. Like, I'm a fun person, and I feel like my brand shows that I'm a fun person. Like, it's because it's who I am. Like, I like to have fun. I don't want to be some stiff person that just, it's like super serious all the time. I like to post unicorn emojis, and like, I like to, Cody Hess is one of my favorite people on LinkedIn. Like, we send each other crazy memes, and I mean, just, Ben and I go back and forth with each other, like married people banter, and that's for real. Like, maybe a little toned down because LinkedIn, but you know, it's like, that's real life. So I think everybody should do that. And if you're not building your personal brand on LinkedIn, I mean, you're sleeping on something that is a valuable asset. Like, valuable asset. Oh, Rob, hold on, I got something for you. All right, I'm ready. Here we go.
There's the hard hat.
I'm here now. Thank you very much. Things are getting very dangerous. Now I'm ready.
We can start. We can start
for the hard questions, Rob. Now you're gonna hit me with a zinger.
Yeah, for sure.
It's 8 p.m. at night, and I'm wearing a hard hat in my house just for you.
In the house, yeah. Going back to what? Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the thing is, like, this is part of my personal brand, so I'm gonna just say, like, have something that makes your brand different, like, that stands out. You know, I see people all the time that you don't remember them or their story because they're just posting like the same tweet cards every day. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want your brand to be. But like, don't be scared to try something different. And if it doesn't work, then try something else. But, you know, you got to be yourself, and you got to have some fun with life. Like, you can't be so serious all the time.
Yeah, or post the same tweet cards every day and then wonder why you're not getting any leads or nobody's liking your stuff. Like, come on, bro. Exactly. Like, Yeah, for sure. And what I was going to say a minute ago was like going back to building a personal brand, just my LinkedIn journey in, 1 minute or less. I got on LinkedIn in December of 2020. 2020. Thought I'd, make some LinkedIn posts. Hey, Alex, haven't seen you in a while.
Hi,
Thought I'd make
Alex.
some posts about, I was in a sales position then. I'd make some, work related stuff, get some new clients or whatever. Didn't really get any clients, but I started meeting people and having fun and networking and coffee chats, discovered live streaming, and didn't know that I was, eventually I quit posting about my day job because I got bored with it and I was just posting for fun. But I didn't know I was setting myself up for whenever I ventured out and started a side gig.
Yeah, you were laying a runway.
I was like God knew what he was doing. I say all the time, God knew exactly what he was doing because I quit posting about electronics recycling, started posting about ending the stigma and, funny stuff and whatever, just the most random stuff. But I was building a community.
Yeah, you have such a powerful story too. I'm so glad that you boldly share that.
Thank you. Yeah, it is a powerful story. And the only reason I say that is because God told me he was going to use it. So it's not like, I mean, if me being bold and talking about the shit that I've been through can help somebody, then why would I not want to share it?
Yeah, that's
and right. I don't let it define me. Like I don't even care about it.
Yeah.
So to me, there's no shame in it. I did what I did. There's nothing I can do to change it. It's what I'm doing now. And if I can if other people can see that and get out of that guilt and the shame, then that's worth it to me.
Yeah. It's powerful when you can own your failures in life, and whether that's something small or something magnanimous, you can own it, and then you can allow people to learn from it and to see that it's okay, and to have grace in your life and grace for others. It's really powerful.
Yeah, for sure. It gives you a whole different perspective on meeting people where they're at.
Yeah.
Because I've been there.
Yeah. And some of the times where you feel like you're the absolute lowest, like that you can't get past whatever you're going through in life, it's just proof that you can persist through that and you can still thrive again. Like today is not defining the rest of your life unless you let it.
Right. Exactly. 100%. I was talking to somebody about that at lunch. I had a coffee chat with someone, and it's too long of a story to get into right here, but of how it came about. But once I figured out and God showed me all the things that the Bible says about how he sees you, all of a sudden, all the guilt and the shame and the, nothing but a worthless drug head and all this other kind of stuff was gone.
Yeah.
It made all the difference in the world. It was a paradigm shift for sure.
I'm so glad that you're sharing that message for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've got 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
How do people find you? You're on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn.
Let me tag her in my comments, Stefanie Couch, so y'all can just click on it and go follow her.
I also have a website, buildwomen.com is the name of the website, and that is my women's leadership company and coaching company. I do speaking workshops, one-on-one coaching, that's strength coaching, personal brand coaching. So that's where you can find me.
Nice. I love it.
5 minutes left. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, we didn't even open it up for questions. We just been jamming. Y'all have any questions at all for Stefanie about what she does or doesn't do, or
hit me with your best shot. Rob, don't make me put the hard hat back on.
Yeah, no, Randy wanted to know where the tool pouch was. Do we have one of those too?
That's the after hours. So I didn't say that.
Right. That's LinkedIn After Dark, y'all. We're going to have to start a new show for that one.
I do have like a little baby pink tool set sometimes that I use for photos. Like if I have like a kind of branding shot that I need. I prefer power tools. Like I like a pass load nail gun a lot better than a hammer. Let's just get real here, people.
Yeah, for real.
Like I do not need to be messing with a 20-ounce hammer. I just give me a nail gun.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah, questions. Anybody have any questions about the Gallup strength, the coaching, personal branding? Maybe you want her to come speak somewhere.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Anybody at all.
I can't believe April hasn't hit us with a question yet.
Well, she said she was going to have you probably didn't see it because you can't read, you don't see the comments, but she said she's going to have to be team replay because she was in the middle of doing something.
Okay, gotcha.
She had probably already taken a gummy and was.
I was going to say, wine in the bathtub.
Wine in the bathtub.
Still watch a live, April. Let's get real.
Yeah, right. So she has
tools too. I see you.
Yeah,
Dr. Alex.
yeah.
I love it.
She so I'm in a Slack channel with her and a bunch of other people from LinkedIn. She has a cat.
Yeah.
That takes a bath with her. Like for the longest time, it would sit up on the edge of the bathtub and just stare at her while she was watching, and she would kind of paw at her or whatever. So she got this cat, like a plastic container, and she puts the cat in it, and the cat just floats in the bathtub with her while she's taking a bath.
I don't even want to know how. Like, does the cat get a gummy too, or I mean, how does it
like
work?
I don't know. I didn't ask her all that. Yeah, I didn't ask her all that. Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, y'all. On LinkedIn.
Next week, let me double check this before I say it. Let me open my calendar. What the heck is this?
Talking about tech issues.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Next week is Trevor Hansen. I think I DM'd him earlier to confirm he was still on, and he hadn't DM'd me back. And it's been a while since we set this up, so I'm not 100% sure he'll be here. I'm pretty sure he will be. But Trevor Hansen, he was the guest on my very first live stream. He was one of the guests. And he built my website, and we've just become friends over the past 2.5 years. And so I thought it'd be cool to bring him back on and just talk about what he's doing and all that kind of stuff. Hang out. There will be, if you think tonight there was no agenda, there will absolutely be no agenda next week. Like it will be just totally just two guys hanging out, riffing, just chilling. So it'll be a cool chill stream. I think that's all I got. Stefanie, you have anything you want to add?
No, thanks for having me on. I'm glad to get to know you, and I appreciate
it. For
awesome.
Sure. Thank you for coming on.
Next time, all right, y'all. In Texas, I'll let you know.
Yeah, do that. I couldn't do it last time because I was still on parole and I couldn't travel, but I am done now. So next time you're here, let me know.
I will let you know.
All right. Awesome. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. I appreciate it. I say it all the time. I couldn't do it without you. Appreciate all the support, and we will see y'all next week.
Thank you.